morning. Welcome to Weddings by Bobbi. I'm Bobbi Hicks. And of course, this is my show all about anything you want to know with regard to the wedding industry. Well, tonight, I'm surrounded by the most wonderful fragrance of chocolate, vanilla, hazelnut, amaretto, you name it, it's in this studio. The cameramen are going crazy. They want to dive into this stuff. And I have a fabulous cake baker with me. Her name is Alla Levin. Her company name is the Cake Zone, and she's here with me. Thank you, Alla, for being here. I'm so excited you're here. This place is fabulous. I mean, look at all of these things that you brought. We're going to get into all of this, not only physically, but talk about it.
Thank you, Bobbi, for having me over.
Tell me a little bit about you. How did you get started in this fabulous business?
Oh, gosh, it started a long time ago. I'm from Eastern Europe. It's a small country, Belarus, between Poland and Russia.
I love the name Belarus.
Belarus, yes, it's a white Russia, actually, as an English translation. And my dad was pastry chef, so as a child I was helping him in the kitchen, watching him creating new recipes, but my desire was more to decorate all his creations, not to bake with him. So as a child, I was introduced to the baking and designing and decoration. Then, despite my family traditions, I became accessory designer.
And accessory, you mean clothing, fashion?
I mean fashion designer, but accessories as a hats, purses,
and so on. And that was in New York.
First, I started to work as accessory designer and got my degree in Europe. And then I moved to New York and went to Fashion Institute of Technology to continue my education. And I worked in a number of design studios, and I was very successful. But something was missing. I felt like I'm not completely satisfied with what I do. And then in 2001, I remember the day when I woke up, I was not happy, and I called my dad and I said, something is missing. And he's like, bake the cake and you feel better. It was his answer for everything, just bake the cake. It was beginning of May, and the most famous event I've known was Kentucky Derby. So I decided to make a cake that looks like a hat. So I baked the cake, I carved the cake, I decorated it as a hat with all edible decorations. And it made me so happy.
And it made the people so happy too.
And I was like, okay, the Cake Zone was born.
Oh, I love it. I love it. And of course, then you came to Florida and fell in love with Florida.
Yes,
I mean,
yes.
Who doesn't love Sarasota and the area around here? You've really become very, very famous in this area.
Thank you.
You've done some very unusual creations, and we do call them creations.
Thank you.
Because that indeed is what they are. But what's your most different, other than that, different creation that you've done?
All my cakes are very unique. It's all about people, all about their hobbies, all about their desires and dreams. And my slogan is, if you can dream it, we can make it. And it's not only a slogan, it's a promise. Lately, I had people in my design room who wanted unusual wedding cake for their wedding, and they gave me hints. They love downtown life, and they like Salvador Dali.
Salvador Dali,
right?
Fabulous.
And they told me surprises. So I started to design the cake, and I came up with upside down cake, defying gravity cake with different geometrical designs and Salvador Dali odd shapes
and
ovals.
This is a picture of it. This is, it's actually defying gravity in all its glory, but look at it. They must have been amazed at what you did.
Yes, they have, and all workers at Temple Club took picture for the cake, and it's still circulating
around because it's so amazing. I mean, first of all, it does not look like a cake. How do you cut that cake, Alla?
You just
Very
get the
carefully.
knife and cut it. No, it's actually very, very steady.
Do you start at the bottom and work your way up?
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All
You
right.
start at the bottom.
So
and
once
work your
once
way
the
up.
bottom layer is gone, then the next layer and so on. I mean, that's just an amazing cake.
And all decorations are edible. I don't use any plastic, metal, fake decorations in my cakes.
Yeah. Oh.
Everything you see on the cake is hand sculpted and hand molded.
Well, I want to talk about this one here.
This one, another unusual design.
This is amazing. Ladies and gentlemen, this looks like a wine barrel that wine is in. Correct?
Correct.
But it's not, it's a cake.
It's not, it's a cake. And when it was at the wedding, it was as a groom's cake, as a surprise.
Oh my gosh.
For a groom who was a winemaker.
Oh, winemaker.
So when this cake was displayed, a lot of guests wanted to turn and to pour wine into the glass.
Oh, how adorable
Yes, it
is
looked
that?
real. So all grapes made out of marzipan. They hand sculpted and hand painted. Bottle is chocolate, and rest of the cake is decorated with fondant.
Now, how does one cut or slice a cake like this?
They had a trouble to cut it because they wanted to preserve, and I said, it's a cake. It's meant to be eaten. It's meant to be cut, so don't hesitate. Actually, it's a 3-tier cake.
Oh,
And it was carved in form of the barrel. So, but it has all separations and support
So
as for
if
3-tier.
If you go in, you will hit
You
a
will
layer.
hit a layer, and then you separate, and then the next
Go
one.
down and so on.
Yes.
Well, I mean, to me, this is an amazing thing. I bet everybody looking at this at home is saying, "What in the world? That can't be a cake," but it is.
It is. Thank you.
It totally is
Thank you.
a cake. Let's, for fun, talk about fondant, because we were having a conversation before we came on the air, and as a lot of my brides and mothers and people that hear me talk, fondant can be just so gooey and chewy and bubblegummy and not good tasting that a lot of brides don't want fondant. This is not true with your fondant.
Yes, you're absolutely right. A lot of brides who come to my showroom for complimentary tasting design session tell me that we don't want to have fondant. We had such a bad experience. We tasted it, and actually I convert them from buttercream to fondant when I give them to taste. My fondant, it's homemade, and it's either marshmallow based or chocolate based. And I use only Belgium chocolate in my fondant. Actually, I made those cookies with this Belgium chocolate fondant for you to taste.
These are these beautiful cookies. I'll show one to the camera. And this one happens to have a fleur-de-lis on it, but do I have that upside down? No. But you can do initials on this.
Yes, they
you can put
monogram.
names. You could put cute little anything on here,
That's correct.
which is just wonderful.
It could be as a
I'm
wedding
passing
favor.
it on to my wonderful cameraman because he can't stand it. He's going to eat one, and I love it. Is that good, Michael?
Very.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you all.
You're welcome, Michael.
But the fondant is so different from most fondants.
It is different. When I first started to decorate cakes, obviously I started with brand names, fondants that are available at retail stores.
Sure.
And I didn't like the taste. It tasted like plastic. So I started to experiment and create my own recipe. And from that moment, when I finally achieved desirable, that it's very pliable, it's very soft, it tastes like a candy, I have 2 different fondants I can offer, actually 3. One is vanilla based on marshmallow, another one is dark chocolate, and the third one is white chocolate. I can color in any color, and I can flavor my fondant because I make it from scratch. So in the beginning of the process, I can put any color, any flavor into my fondant.
Well, and if it is that good, and we're all going to try one here in a little bit, which I'm so excited about, but that good, then brides will tend to want that. And then you get this kind of reality when you're trying to carve out
Exactly.
something.
Fondant gives me a possibility of unlimited design. Anything you dream, anything you want, I can create out of fondant and cake.
And cake. Now, you make your cakes fresh.
Yes.
One of the things that bothers me with bakers is if they bake them ahead and freeze them, and then take them out and either reheat them or just let them, they lose that wonderful fresh taste. I mean, it's gone. It tastes almost like cardboard.
You're absolutely right. They lose a fragrance, the fragrance of the cake, and all the vanilla and caramel and all ingredients you add to the cake. And the same with taste.
But the texture is gone.
The texture is gone. It's very crumbly. All of my cakes are freshly baked. Even for my complimentary tasting design sessions, I offer to every bride, to every customer, to any special occasion cake, I bake all of my cakes on order, fresh, so
now,
they can taste it.
Is this how you feel distinguishes you apart from other companies, other bakers, and so on?
I don't know what other bakers do and how they work with their cakes, but I'm not a production line, that's for sure. All of my cakes are freshly baked. All of my cakes are freshly stocked and decorated, and I use only finest ingredients. Belgium chocolate, Madagascar vanilla, French or Italian meringue. So all the best and finest ingredients, and it's always fresh, never frozen.
When you, let's say somebody comes in and they want the cake for Saturday, and they come in, well, last week, let's just say. When do you bake the cake and then to finish it with the fondant and the decor, so it's ready to deliver on Saturday?
I usually bake cake, it depends if it's Saturday or Sunday delivery, Wednesday or Thursday, because cake needs to rest. You cannot decorate fresh cake.
I love that word,
right?
because that's exactly what cakes do need.
Yes, they need to rest. And then after it's ready, after it has the firms, then I start to decorate and put it together. And with my cakes, all brides and all customers get best of two worlds, because I frost my cakes with vanilla buttercream, homemade buttercream, and then fondant as a second layer of icing.
Oh, wow.
So they get both.
Oh my gosh, isn't that fabulous? That is so neat. When you, well, I guess I should ask you what your favorite flavors are. Oh, you know what? We're going to go to break. When we come back, we're going to find out all about the flavors and a little more about these wonderful cupcakes here and this other cake that we're smelling and feeling so good about. This room is just loaded with sugar, including the two of us. We'll be right back.
It's the day you've waited for. The moment you say I do is finally here, and Weddings of Sarasota can help you with all the necessary steps to planning the elegant wedding you've always dreamed about. From bridal gowns, caterers, DJs, and honeymoon travels to innovative floor designers and more, Weddings of Sarasota has the area's finest professionals to meet all of your planning needs. So just relax, enjoy your special day, and let us do what we love to do. Visit weddingsofsarasota.com today, and remember, good planning is the key to a successful event.
Scene Magazine celebrates 50-plus years as Southwest Florida's longest-running community magazine. Scene delivers the best of Sarasota and Manatee counties through informative articles, vivid images, engaging commentary, and much more. Scene Magazine, your community guide to the people, places, and things that make the Culture Coast so great. Be informed, be entertained, be seen.
Flowers by Fudgy is a full-service floral shop specializing in weddings, parties, and special events. From the small beach and home weddings to the church, club, or resort affairs. Flowers by Fudgy will create a beautiful atmosphere should your wedding be garden-like, tropical, traditional, or romantic. The bridal consultants and designers work with the freshest, finest flowers from all over the world to achieve the look you are after and are always happy to work within any budget. Call Flowers by Fudgy for your free consultation, 349-9212.
Hi there, one for King Kong, please.
That'll be $1, please.
That's it? Well, in that case, this one's on me. Come on, guys, let's go to the movies.
Welcome back. We're here with All 11 and the Cake Zone, and this place just lights up here. It smells so good, Alla.
Thank you,
great.
Bobbi.
We were going to talk about your favorite flavors, so tell me about that. What's your favorite flavor?
Of course, is chocolate.
Chocolate.
Chocolate is my favorite
I guess
flavor.
most people do like chocolate.
And lately, a lot of wedding cakes are chocolate.
That's true.
Because they want to be different,
That's
all
true.
brides and grooms. And now it's, it used to be bride was in charge and mother of the bride of the flavors and how it's going to
Now
look.
the groom is.
Now grooms are getting involved and they love chocolate.
That's true.
And all of my chocolate cakes are made with Belgium chocolate and Madagascar vanilla, and I had my secret ingredient from my dad's recipe.
Ooh.
And it tastes really good. And I can make espresso chocolate cake. I can make
and
raspberry
mocha.
chocolate cake.
I love raspberry chocolate,
Right.
but I also like lemon. I love lemon cakes.
And lemon with
and
white
orange cakes, but lemon is my
lemon with
favorite.
white chocolate is
Oh.
remember my lemon cake with white chocolate?
I
Yes.
told you how good it was. A sample of it at the last bridal show we did for Weddings of Sarasota.
Yeah,
and I took a bite and I went, my saliva, it was just, ooh, so yummy, yummy,
Thank
yummy.
you.
Just great.
I use limoncello to preserve the cake, so I brush every layer with limoncello. I'm giving you too many secrets.
Well, first of all, we wouldn't remember, and secondly, we couldn't do it, so it's okay. That's why we have you. We're going to talk about trends in the cake business. This gorgeous bling, what did you call it, bling and lace?
No, for 2011 trend for all cakes and for wedding dresses, whatever is in the runway should be in the cake. It's a bling bling and lace.
Bling bling and lace.
It's all about a grand finale. It's all about lace and gold and silver and jewels. I can make edible jewels out of sugar. It's just for display purposes because it's going to sit out for longer. I used plastic. So all these molds were created based on the real lace from the real dress. So I can replicate, yes, I can replicate any lace, I can replicate any dress, I can incorporate any design from the wedding dress into the cake.
And part for the viewers to understand with this new trend with the very high cakes and layers, it makes it grand and elegant. But for cutting purposes, explain. It's a half.
It's really all tiers. The new trend for 2011 is have all. You're absolutely right, Bobbi. All tiers are much taller than they used to. So I use a styrofoam as a fake tier in addition to the real tier to create this this height. So, and in between a real cake and styrofoam, there's a cake board.
Which is what is every tier
on any cake. So when you cut through the cake, you're obviously going to stop at the cardboard.
Yes.
It's really hard. You cannot cut through. Also, I can use completely fake tiers to elevate the cake because new trend is 5, 6, 7 tiers. All these celebrity cakes that they make this grand finale. And I can use fake tiers and I can decorate them in the same manner as the real ones to give this presence.
Which is magnificent because this look right here is so regal, so elegant.
Thank you.
But you're not cutting a slice of cake.
Exactly.
That high.
No, and you don't need that much cake. It's just for the look.
I was doing a wedding at a particular place here. This was long time ago, and the place historically did fake tiers because, especially when the wedding wasn't. It being not a huge wedding, it was about 100 people. They wanted a very tall, elegant cake, but there was only a certain portion of it that it was real. Well, unbeknownst to all of us, because the place that the wedding where the wedding was, they do their own wedding cakes. They were all styrofoam layers except for right in the middle and the top one. No one told the groom and the bride, and certainly no one told me. And so we're there ready to slice the cake. And you know, all cake knives, there's a server, which is pie-shaped, and then there's a cake knife, which is what they use to slice each. And it has a serrated edge. All good cake knives do. And the groom is coming down on the cake, and now he's sawing. And I went, David, what are you doing? He said, can't get through this cake. Well, he was cutting right through the styrofoam, which was just hysterical.
I bet it was crunchy.
Well, the people, we did turn the cake and we started over. The people at this place of business just were furious because I said, you know, it's your own fault. You should have told us.
Exactly.
And hence the reason when someone comes in and says, I want this trendy look, they know that there's that.
They know, and I always
second
I leave them instructions with the catering company who's cutting or with the planner on the day off.
So
with
they know.
instructions how to cut the cake, because bride and groom, they're busy, they can forget easily where to cut, but they have people who are taking over on a day off, and they know for sure. I always leave a letter with explanation how to cut the cake.
So I know this is one trend. Are there any other wonderful trends that are going on in the cake business?
Yes, other trends are a lot of flowers. If you remember, sugar flowers, yes, gum paste flowers, and it's usually all cakes are separated with the separators, and flowers go in between the tiers. So when you have 5-7 tier cake with flowers cascading and in between, it looks phenomenal.
Oh, it's magnificent.
Yes, and diamonds, sugar diamonds is
well, there's a
one.
lot of bling right now
Yes.
in the wedding industry, and not just for the dresses, but for the decor
For the
on
decor
the table,
as well.
The cakes and so on. It's and this one certainly indicates that. But are there any other kinds of trends going on that you're seeing that are really, you think it's really going to come for 2011?
I think that past year, black and white, ivory and brown was the cake.
Yeah.
And now everybody's going back to traditions because it's a lace, white and white, gold and white, silver and white, with probably splash of colors in flowers, but not on the cake. It goes back to tradition when cake was white. So black and white still in.
And the whites and ivories.
Yes.
The ivories are really,
Yes.
really, I think, coming into their own.
Into the own.
You have been featured in a international magazine, cake magazine.
Oh yeah,
correct?
thank you for mentioning.
Yeah, I
Yes.
would like to just show this because this
7 of my cakes were published in the August
And
issue
this-
of Cake Central.
and this is an international magazine.
That's correct.
This beautiful wine cake
Yes,
is in
the-
here, among others that you've done. This, can you buy this on the newsstand?
No, it's only by subscription, or you can buy online through people who's distributing the magazine.
Okay, but that's so this. But I think it's interesting that you got in here and you were featured. Are these all the
Yes, these
spots?
are.
This is
This is
look
black
at
and
that.
white cake.
There's a beautiful black and white cake. That's just stunning.
And again, I want to mention that all decorations are edible.
Are edible.
Yes.
Well, Alla, I thank you so much for being on with me tonight. This is so exciting. Everybody remember Alla Levin, and it's called the Cake Zone. Now, you've seen her number on the screen. If you need to get to her, you can always get to her through me, because I always will have her number. She's wonderful. Everything just looks beautiful. Thank you
Thank
so
you,
much
Bobbi.
for
Thank
being
you
here.
for
I'm just
inviting me.
delighted. And we'll see you all in 2 weeks. Remember, your perfect wedding begins right here with me. We'll see you then.
Sal Capaccio.
I'm John Peacock, head football coach of the Venice Indians.
Join us every Thursday night right here on Digital Channel 189 for Venice Football Weekly as we take a look